Welcome back to the Ormo Labs Community Spotlight podcast, the podcast that really shines a light on our community members here at Ormo Labs, really dives deep into the stories of our innovators, our creators, and why they love to call Ormo Labs their home. So I'm delighted to have Rachel here today, Marketing Manager of Equitas. Rachel, welcome to the podcast. I think this is my third episode now, so I'm so delighted to have you here and for taking the time out today from your job to join us and chat a wee bit more. So really, I suppose, to kick things off, and for those who are listening at home who don't really know what Equitas is all about, I suppose, could you give us a wee bit of a flavour of what Equitas is, please?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me on. So Equitas really is an interview intelligence platform. Mm-hmm. And at its core, we really just help hiring managers, hire the best candidates in half the time. That really is our motto, and it really captures what we're all about. So what makes us different is that we tackle two massive problems. Mm-hmm. So that's inefficiencies and then also the lack of fairness in the hiring process. Mm-hmm. If you think of the average hiring manager, they probably spend about 30 plus hours hiring, trying to find the right candidate. Mm-hmm. And, the cost of hiring the wrong person gets to about £100,000. Mm-hmm. So you think of it, there is a real business case here that makes sure that we need to effectively hire the right people, get the right candidates in the room, give them the fair chance, and ultimately do that within the right resources available in terms of technology, tools, training, and just make sure that it's an engaging process for the candidate overall.
Yeah, I really love that whole process and that motto around hiring people in half the time. I think that is really key. And I think the key thing that I always think about, when I'm doing these podcasts and I'm talking to the founders, the creators, the makers, the movers, it's trying to put my perception into thinking like a small business. And when you're a small business owner and you're trying to hire and you recruit, like you say, hiring the wrong person can massively cost the business. So I suppose from your perspective, that hiring the right people in half the time, can you sort of walk us through how you make that happen? What does that look like?
It's fascinating how obvious problems hide in plain sight, right?
Yeah.
The traditional process is so broken in many different ways. You get the hiring manager trying to take notes, assess the candidates, and try and listen to what's being said. And it's really, really difficult to do that well. Yeah. And so we thought if we can capture that audio with 99.9 accuracy, and then being able to bring that structure, that best practice structure into the interview process, and being able to bring that human-led scoring aspect to make sure that they're evaluating candidates based on the interview data, then you can really create a transformative impact for both the candidate and the hiring manager. We basically try to make sure that when it comes to note-taking, we're trying to eliminate that manual process. We're trying to make it as efficient so that you stay present in the interview and making sure that whatever the candidate is saying, all those insights that get captured effectively, and you can use that to make the best informed decision for the company.
Wow. Oh my goodness. You obviously work with organizations that care about fair hiring. I suppose, what have you, in your time of working with Equitas, have you seen that impact across the board? What impact have you seen so far?
So with the impact has gone way beyond we could ever imagine. Recently, it's not even last year, a few months ago actually. Yeah. Gosh, this year has gone by so quick, hasn't it?
I know.
It was only May. So in May, we won 6 awards.
Wow.
6 awards, including gold for candidate experience.
Oh my gosh.
And that really testifies what we're doing at Equitas. That's key. So across the HSC, which is the Northern RHS, NHS, Irish NHS. What was I even saying there?
So, you just got so lost in all the accolades.
Northern, Irish, Northern. The Irish NHS.
Yeah.
We've helped them hire thousands of candidates. We've done we've basically facilitated thousands of campaigns across different hospital groups, making sure that their interview process is compliant, it's fair, it's engaging, it's efficient, and that's basically what the hospital groups really care about. Really, they want to make sure that they're getting the right candidates in place because it's basically all about delivering care, right? So you don't just want to just hire anyone; you need to hire the right candidate for the role. And so we've been really owning that space, that sector, and really trying to drive fair hiring for them.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get the Mighty project, which has been equally rewarding. That's over the past 12 months, I would say that we've basically helped Mighty with their first private prison mobilization.
Cool.
which is incredible. Like they needed about 360 plus hires, like operational hires. So that's across like prison custody officers, managers, and support roles as well. And we basically, I mean, the results speak for themselves. We're thinking like 45% reduction of time to hire. There's been like...
Wow, and like that's massive in itself,
It's
isn't
massive,
it?
yeah.
Like 45% when we are time per. It's like that is massive.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
That was incredible. And when you think about like the assessment centers, it used to be like 50%, but we've actually increased that to 82% attendance rate.
Wow.
So that, again, speaks volumes, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then, of course, they always care about diversity hires as well. So, like, we've definitely increased that by, like, 48% as well. So, I mean, like, what more can you get? What more do you want? Like, it's been incredible.
Yeah. And you've dropped some cool names in there in terms of the companies that you've worked with over the time. And I suppose from your perspective, you're obviously market manager with the Equitas team. And I suppose that must be quite complex for you from that bias-free fair hiring perspective. Like, how do you create that image to ensure that what you're doing is creating that impact and you're getting those customers as well?
No, of course. I think I've learned to not lead with technology. It's not just about the technology you use. You know, it's about telling stories. It's about focusing on the pain point, right?
Yeah.
These hiring managers, they spend hours trying to like interview. Like I can't even imagine I've done the interview process myself before, but it takes time. And, you know, these are people who maybe are not traditionally hiring managers. Maybe they've come step out from a role and they're just like, they don't know how to interview correctly. Like they're just throwing themselves into the wild and just like expecting the best, you know? And I think like, and it's not only just that, like not only the frustration of spending hours doing interviews, but from the candidate perspective, you know, they've experienced that kind of black hole that they go into after an interview where they don't hear back, no feedback to help them know where they went right, when they went wrong. That ghosting element is what we are so against. Like we don't want people to have to deal with that. It's disheartening, right? I mean, you spend hours prepping for an interview and only just to not hear back if you got it or not. You know, it's just it
says more about the company. And you're like, I didn't want to work there anyway.
I know, and I mean, candidate experience is so important, and when it links to your employer brand because literally it takes like just one person to speak out, and then. Yeah, you know, we want to help companies protect their employer brand, which is why we facilitate this element of that.
I suppose one thing to try and understand that a wee bit more with Equitas, so you actually start and you sort of do the whole wraparound service with that whole fair hiring piece. So it is that whole starting the recruitment piece and then the follow-up side of it as well.
So it's basically focused on just the interview side of things. Obviously, we have that seamless integration with like ATS, but from the setup to scheduling the interviews to sending out the invites to the candidates, then obviously conducting the interview process, then scoring, sending out the candidate feedback, and then obviously making the hire from there. That is how it facilitates the whole interview process.
So cool. That is very cool. And a team of, how many is the team made up of with Equitas?
So we have about six, yeah. So we're growing. We're in the right way, yeah. We're growing.
Love
and
that.
we're hoping to obviously scale the team even more. So super excited for that.
So it's progressing.
It's progressing.
I love
yes.
that. I love that. So I suppose talking about like growing the team, we're obviously delighted to have you here at Ormo Labs. And you are part of our hot deskers, our incredible hot deskers here at Ormo Labs. So it's so fab to have you here. And I suppose just to really draw out on that, like what drew Equitas here to be part of that membership and the core within Ormo Labs?
Oh gosh, like where do I even start? I mean, it's been first of all, let's appreciate the building. It's a fab building. It's so unique. Like it's just amazing. And I think it's not just the building. I think it's the people in there that makes it special. Like it really, like I've had so many insightful conversations. I've made so much friends here. It just feels like a really nice supportive community. And I think that the key thing, we weren't just looking for an office space. We were looking for like that community where we can draw ideas from, you know, build on our innovations and like, you know, network where it doesn't feel very forced, you know? And like when you think about it, like we're right in the hub of like the tech space. And I think it's so crucial when you're building something from scratch or like you're in the sort of startup space and like there's founders all around, we're all navigating similar challenges, whether it's fundraising, whether it's, you know, scaling the team or, you know, various different things. And I think we're all in the same boat. So we all kind of understand where we are. So it's all about trying to like have those conversations, you know, reach out to people who can help you with this or that and just kind of facilitating that engagement piece. And that's what I've loved so much. I mean, the staff here have just been incredible. So supportive, so helpful. Like I can just like pick up my laptop and be like, oh, like, do you have a second? Can I talk to you about this? And I think that's so crucial. Like I've been to other offices before where it's very like, you're kind of working in isolation. Yeah. And this, like, Omo Labs is nothing like that at all. Like, we're working as, like, a collaborative, right?
I love that. Oh, my goodness. I love that. It's so nice. And I think that's the thing. Like, you specifically, you know, co-working spaces are there to create that hub. And we really want to do that here at Omo Labs, obviously. And it's like, when you're working from home, like, I know I worked from home predominantly the last few years. And it's like, it can become quite isolating and you're working through stressful tasks and deadlines and you're kind of like pulling your hair out. And it's like those 5 minutes where you can step away, go to the kitchen and talk through it with other founders and go, oh my goodness, like this has just come up. This has happened. What would you, and like, there's just so many insightful ideas shared. And sometimes just that step away and being with other people is like all it takes. Like 100%. I always say, the kitchen is the best part. Like that's where you meet the most people. That's where you have all the networking because like everyone's just like, oh gosh, I need a minute. Do you know? So,
exactly.
Yeah, no, and it's great. We love having you guys here. It's been fantastic. Obviously I've been here 3 months and it's been lovely to get to know you as well and build on that relationship. I suppose, have you had has there been any real connections or learnings that you've experienced over the last while that's created impact and changed the perception or changed your thinking in Equitas at all by just being in this community?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, one key element I can draw on is the DEI in NI event that we had here in the Omo Labs. It was just like, so I had a vision last year.
Oh, tell me. And also, so DI, just for everyone listening.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Awesome.
In Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And so I'm a diversity, equity, and inclusion advocate. Like I'm so passionate about that. And like last year, I had a vision where I wanted to, because I've been to so many different events. Yeah. And I thought, how can I create something different? How can I create something that no one else has been to before? You know, because I was tired of seeing the same kind of events. There's always the same kind of people in the room, and it's the same kind. And I was like, we need to change this up. We need something different. And so I basically wanted to create an impact of like telling stories, but also having those strategies to encourage people to speak up, to have their voice, to be able to encourage that dialogue within their team. And so I shared the vision for the first time with the Omo Labs community. And I just said, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to host an event. I want it to be, you know, something quite special. I want to bring the right people into a room and actually just everyone to share their experience. And, you know, getting that out there, like being able to have that team to execute my vision perfectly. Like I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be more like grateful for it because honestly, to this day, it's been the most like the proudest highlight and achievement of my career so far. So,
oh my god! Oh, we were obviously like delighted to host those important conversations in that event. When was that? Was that last?
That was last year in October.
Nice.
Know,
so
right?
It's like nearly coming back round. Did I hear another event coming?
Do you know what? I'm just like, it took a lot out of me last year, but you know.
I am sure. People don't talk about how much goes on behind the scenes with organising events.
Honestly, I'm doing this managing marketing and then having to step into an event manager's role.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well, like the whole, like we didn't even delve really into it when we were talking about your role as marketing manager, but it's like, as a marketing manager, you really have to think outside the box. You have to think creative. You have to you're constantly thinking about like the new trends that are coming through and how you really story tell. Oh yeah. So it must be like, there's a lot of pressure in that as well, that you have to stay on demand and like be creative. So like navigating that and then doing events on the side. Wow.
I know, right? Wearing so many different hats as a marketer.
So like, I suppose bringing it back a wee bit to Equitas itself, if you can tell me a wee bit more about what's coming next, like what's on the horizon. Obviously, you noted that they're scaling the team. There's potential of growth. Is there anything else that we're on the lookout for or to keep an eye out for?
Well,
that's exciting. That was it.
Now that you mentioned it. So there's a lot of different things happening. And I think one of the key things is that our founder will be raising a round. So that would eventually help us to scale the team and accelerate our growth. So that's exciting. I also think because of the support I've had from, the Omo Labs community and just being able to host this event so freely and so openly, I feel like I want to continue doing more of that. Yeah. Whether it's like tech events, diversity, equity, inclusion events, whatever it is that can bring people into a room that can, like just bring that sense of community is what I love. And it's worked so well with like our breakfast event as we have like upcoming recruitment conferences coming up, which is good. We've got potentially IHR awards, which is basically in-house recruitment awards later this year, which I'm so excited for.
That'd be fun.
Bringing the team together and celebrating.
Oh, amazing. Because I suppose that's the thing of like, you've obviously got a team of 6 right now, and you're obviously based here predominantly within Ormo Labs. The rest of your team, are they quite remote then? And then obviously those relationships, I'm sure, when you get together are great. Especially
so great.
Awards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's celebrating our achievements and just bringing the team together for like, just being able to have that sense of like physical connections with like being able to like bond as a team. It's so much easier to do when you're in a physical environment. Do you know what I mean? And I think the key thing that, because we're still such a small team, it's easier to do rather than, obviously, of course, we'll love to scale the team, but I think the key thing is that when you set that foundations as a team, when you're a lot smaller, it's easier for that to be replicated when you grow a lot bigger. So
totally. Oh my goodness, amazing.
And then so there's things like that. And then I'm thinking our interview as a service is offering. So that's where we help like organizations who are struggling with high volume hiring. Like this is like a key thing where they just don't have the capacity to do it well. So we're basically helping them take all that pressure and burden off them and just being able to like deliver interviews at scale. So we've got technology and then we've got the experts helping to build that kind of ecosystem to make sure that they're hiring fairly, efficiently, the candidate experience is positive at scale and there's no like quality being downgraded. It's just we're trying to hire more efficiently with higher quality, if that makes sense. So
Awesome. Exciting. There's lots of things happening. Oh my goodness. I suppose to sort of close our session off today, is there any advice you would give to purpose-led startups, especially those that are maybe considering taking up space in Ormo Labs at all?
Absolutely. I mean, I think don't underestimate the power of community, right? Like I feel like, honestly, without this community, I don't know how I would have like survived some of the toughest challenges in my career so far. Like it's just popping up to one person and be like, right, listen, have you like gone through this before, or like what's your thoughts on this, and just asking for advice, because there's so much different experts in the room and you just don't know what you don't know.
So true. It's so true.
So being able to just go like have that conversation, you don't know what you can learn from that one conversation that could be absolutely like life changing for the future, whatever it is. So I think that's one thing that's key. And I think if anyone's ever considering like Ormo Labs, I think you should come at it with an open mind, but a generous spirit. Because the founders...
Oh my goodness, you're full, I'm so sorry, of the best quotes. You're inspiring me.
I'm like,
how can I get a space in here? How can I get a hot desk?
I'm like, bring them all in. Bring them all in. I'm like, but there's so much space. Like, come on, bring them all in. No, but honestly, the truth is that the founders who thrive here are people who are willing to not only just give advice, but to like, support other like founder success, like being able to like, celebrate those milestones and stuff. Like what you put in is what you get out multiplied.
Totally.
That's just key. So I think the more you put into something, the more you get out. So I think for us as like founders or managers or wherever we sit in that kind of in our career, it's important to not only just take that information, but be able to like provide whatever service or whatever help that you can to anyone that just might be in need. And I think we can all just grow together.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is it. It's like, it's one thing I always say. I heard this quote once and it was like, when a flower is like not blooming and it's like dying, it's like, do you blame the flower? Or do you blame its surroundings? Like you look at the water, you look at its light, you look at all of that side of it. And it's like within the community, I like to think that if you're feeling like I'm really struggling, I can't get through, you're like, you look at your surroundings, you look at everything else that's around you and how they can support you. And I think that piece around we're that community, we can bring that little bit of, hey, we can help you with that, or did you know you can do this, and things like that. So I think that community piece that you refer to as well is so important and what we are here for. Like it's our raison d'etre. So it's so nice that you see that as a part of a really important piece for why you're growing within Equitas as well. So it's fab.
100%. And one thing here's another quote for you.
Oh, go for it.
So the North Star will guide you through any challenges, even when the path isn't always clear. So I'll just leave that one for you to simmer. I'll let that simmer.
I could be thinking about this all night, all weekend. Wow, that is so nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And I think, like, I'm so grateful to be part of this community. Like,
Yeah.
I've been, is it over 5 years now?
Is it?
It's over 5 years. I mean, not actually, wait.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't believe it's taken us to the end of this podcast to realize you've been here for 5 years.
I'm an OG.
You really are. You deserve a spotlight on your own. It's so funny because we had Johnny Rogan in here a couple of weeks ago, and he's been here 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Like 8 years. Pretty cool. And he done a podcast 4 years ago. And so we're like, let's get you back in. And so you're 5 years. So you're in the running. You are in the running for being a real OG.
I love that.
I suppose final question. This has been so fun. Thank you so much for joining us today. But final question for anyone who wants to connect with the guys at Equitas, with the team, with yourself, how do they do that? What is the best way?
Well, I think the best thing is to connect with us on our website. So that's our first point of call.
Awesome.
So that can give you insights into what we're all about, the case studies that we have, demos, and just insights into the future of work as well, because that's so crucial. And I think also LinkedIn, like that's where we stay up to date with like regular activities, or if there's any events coming up, or like LinkedIn newsletters. We're always just trying to share as much to the community and offer that value. And obviously that's where I kind of sit as a marketer, just trying to like share as much as I can. If anyone wants to actually see the product live, I would recommend like booking a call with our founder, because he really goes in and like really helps you understand like if there's any kind of hiring challenges that you're facing. It's not just about you need Equitas. It's about helping you pinpoint where you need, whether it's training you need, whether it's a different kind of software you need. Like we're always just trying to share as much as possible.
For sure.
Yeah.
So connect with him. How do people do that?
Yeah. So you can book a demo on our website.
Okay.
Or you can just reach out to Michael Blakely on LinkedIn as well. So he's always open for a chat. And like it's all about pointing people in the right direction. Yeah. And it may not necessarily always mean like software adoption. Like there may be other types of like resources out there that we can just always share, and we're willing to share as much as possible to help people on their hiring journey as well.
Awesome.
So,
Michael's inbox is going to fill up after everyone's listened to this podcast now, because wow.
Well, that's what we want.
Rachel, it has been awesome having you on the podcast. It's been really great, and like I say, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to join us. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amy. I really enjoyed this conversation.